Payback time.
Come on!
Can't be bargained with. It can't be reasoned with.
You just don't turn it off!
Goodbye, bro.
Come with me if you want to live.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. You're watching Backtrack Cinema, and tonight, guys, we're doing the Rocky Watch Party series. Tonight, we're starting with Rocky, and I got the Rocky Round 14 Rocky podcast with me, Tony, and Rick's gone. He's waiting by his DVD player to start this freaking thing.
He's ready to go.
He's ready to go. So,
Yeah.
you know what, guys? We're I'll introduce you guys. We're just let's do this over the movie. So, let's just start because
Okay.
I'll count down from 5, and when I say play, let's just all play.
All right.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
All right. Ricky B's back. There he is.
I'm back. Sorry.
So, do we got the title scroll? Is that where we're
Yep.
at?
I have it.
Yep,
Yes.
that's where I am.
Okay, good. Okay, we're lined up good enough. All right,
Actually,
November
the Y is
25th,
going by. Yep.
1975, Philadelphia. So, quite a remarkable, iconic opening.
I think so. And it's like the light that's coming down on him. A lot of shadows there for him. The Jesus. This fight took place in a church, so
Yeah.
it's kind of poetic.
There we go.
Yep, there he is. Spider Rico.
He's fighting
you-
like a ape.
I was
Sure
going to
is.
say, you look at him and it looks like he has no fighting skills. You know,
Well, he kind of doesn't.
No,
he's just kind of like,
Yeah.
he doesn't have a lot of skills. He's not very refined.
No. Well, like it's the very beginning of it, and I mean his hands are down low. He's getting popped. All these people probably paid $25 to come watch him box.
Friday night, like a Friday night fight club. Like
Yeah,
we have them where I am. They got a boxing club, and they do like they used to do it at a bar. They'd set the ring up at this bar, like a pool.
Oh,
hall.
get out!
Oh, that's so
Um,
cool.
Yeah, I never got a chance to go, but I used to love watching. I like watching old fights, like from the 60s and 70s.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like popping
Oh.
those on.
no doubt. That's awesome.
yeah. He's not in good shape either. He's panting. He's panting
Yeah, he's
like a
panting.
dog.
What is it? The second? It's the first round, isn't it?
It's the
The end of
first
the
round.
Couple
He's
too
like-
many brews and smokes.
Yeah, you know that, right? Well, he smokes. He was drinking,
Drinking beer.
not
Yep.
taking care of himself.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, look how he's leading in with his left hand
Yep.
up. There's no skill there.
No.
He's just raw, just so raw.
Yeah, I mean, even Spider looks like he's got some skill. He's got his hands up. He's got a little,
Yep.
Popping the jab out.
Sure. But he was
Yeah.
a professional fighter, though, in real life, right?
Who, Pedro
actor?
Lavelle?
Yeah.
Mm.
I believe he was a professional fighter in real life.
Yeah, it's great. I don't know. He was winning and he still headbutts him. That's what I don't get.
Right.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Oh, look who it is. The Rocky Files. Hey guys, Look at those three handsome guys. Hey, Stacy,
Where?
what's going on?
Sly and Spider Rico. They're good looking guys. Where's the third?
Yeah. There he is right there.
There he is. Yeah, this obviously this goes to show you the heart, you know, that the light's coming down on him like that. He's got Jesus looking over his shoulder.
Yeah, he starts with a fight and ends with a fight in the movie.
Yeah,
so it's really kind of poetic.
You know, and look at his nature. You know, it's like the next boxer's coming. He's like, "Hey, good luck, man." You know?
Yeah,
patting him on the shoulder.
Yeah, you know, I mean,
you don't know what he's like yet. Like it's when we first watched this. Speaking of Tony, walk us through watching this for the first time, because I haven't met anyone yet who says they saw this in the theater. Was it really that? Was it really that special? Like I mean, did you know that you're watching something that was this very special?
I'm not gonna lie. When I was 10 years old, and I would say the first half, not for a 10-year-old. I was kind of a little bored with it. It was a lot more dialogue. It was a lot, my dad was saying, let's go see this boxing movie. But then later on, once he got to training and got towards the fight and stuff, it was insane. I mean, it was like you were at a live boxing match. People were screaming in the seats, yelling, pumping their fists, screaming.
Wow. So awesome.
Apollo down first round. I'm not giving away any spoilers, guys. This movie's 47 years old.
What? Are you kidding me?
I couldn't imagine. I mean, when I watched it I watched 4 and 3 before number 1 and number 2 before number 1.
Oh, wow.
My dad said, no, you got to go watch the original. It's where he's bad.
Yeah.
He's a villain. He's like, no, he meant like he's street like, and he's
more of a
breaking
thug.
thumbs, and he's more of a thug. Yeah. So,
but you definitely could tell it was a different movie by the reaction of everybody there. Like I said, when we finished watching the movie, it was weird because I didn't even really dawn on me that Rocky didn't win. Like when we were leaving the theater, everybody was cheering and I love you. I love, I mean,
yeah, it goes about. It was much bigger than that.
It was huge.
The way it affects people. And my mom took me, and so I picked this up. This exact cover, I had to find this. This took a lot to find because I love that cover.
Yeah,
and I put it on, and it's been my favorite movie of all time ever since.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it really was.
First Blood's my second.
Not a bad choice.
Yeah, not at all. But it was, but you definitely knew it was something. I mean, let's put it this way: a 10-year-old wanted to go see it again. My dad wasn't big on seeing things more than once, so I walked up to the theater and saw it myself.
Hey, Ledger, how late are you? Not that late. They're singing on the street right now. Rocky's ready to pass the singers on the street.
Yep, he's walking up right now.
Here. Oh, we're not there yet.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I'm a couple seconds ahead of you, but that's okay.
That's all right.
Well, I know, Tony, you said you saw it in the theaters, and I can't even imagine that. But I remember watching it on Channel 9 or whatever it was way back then,
right?
And was it probably a couple years after it came out, and I remember being so just filled with excitement after the movie ended. I went out and I started boxing my refrigerator.
Yeah, right.
My parents are like, "What the hell are you doing? Leave the refrigerator alone."
It's crazy.
We had boxing gloves, so my brothers and I would go box outside in our backyard. And we liked Rocky 3 so much, so he used to pretend he was Clubber Lang or something, and he froze a boxing glove that I didn't know about. He put it on, he hit me, I had a black eye for a week, but I loved it. It was like a badge of courage. It was like a badge of courage. I was like,
right?
And another time I cut my eye with a baseball bat, and I needed stitches. And when they bandaged me up, I was like, oh, I finally look like a doctor.
I look like it. This is so great.
Awesome.
I got a busted eye. Yeah, but you definitely knew it was something special. I mean, it was just it just took a hold of you. Like I said, I walked up. The theater was only, I don't know, 5 or 6 blocks from my house, and I walked up and saw it. I had to see it a dozen times that that Christmas break. I mean, because it
Wow.
came out in right before Thanksgiving or right before Christmas, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
but
you're
yeah,
you're absolutely right. I mean, it's one of these movies I wish they put back in the theater
oh, I
so we could
know,
all so we could witness it. Or
I
like,
know.
but this is what I
Yeah, but
love. This is what I love about this is that the modern day audience or modern day movie makers, they would have skipped all this. They wouldn't have had him walking home. It would have just cut to him in
yeah,
the
in the
morning, go
house.
to. But this is why we're with him. This is why he feels like a best friend. That's what I've
Yep,
always said. He feels like your best friend
Yeah.
because you're with him. He's going home. He's trying to, saying some jokes on the line. He's
yep,
looking at himself in the mirror. Why am I doing this to myself? I'm gonna go put some ice. I'm feeling horrible. And then in the morning, he gets back up, puts his best foot forward, and goes to the pet shop. And he's like he's been he's brand new again. You know what I mean? That's what it
Sure.
feels like.
This scene here is great though, because he's sitting there practicing the lines he's going to say to Adrian the next day about the turtle food having more moths.
Yeah,
And then he happens to catch a look of himself as a little kid. He's just looking at him like it's just so poetic the way it's written. He looks at himself, he's looking at himself, looking back down at the picture. Like what am I? Like what is going on? I've done nothing with my life.
yeah. And I mean, that's just relatable.
Oh yeah.
I mean, how many of us? It's like, what am I still doing in this job? How come I
Mhm.
haven't
Oh,
done
yeah.
anything I really wanted to do with my life? I mean, that's all. I mean, he could have been a hairdresser. He could have been a baker. He could have been a musician. He could have been it could have been anything. But boxing was so big at that time, and it just really suited the street grittiness of the character, I think.
Well, and also the combination of the metaphor of well, I don't know if you want to go ahead and read that, Jace. For
Who do
Rocky
you
as the main character.
who do you prefer as a main character in most of the of the show, or him as a mentor in Creed? Who do you prefer Rocky as a main character in most of the
Oh,
or him as a mentor? I prefer him as a main character, but I do
oh
like
yeah,
how I like how he's I like how in Creed he became like Mickey. That's what I
yeah,
like. I
yeah.
thought, but I also don't like it because it opened up things that he closed in Rocky Balboa, like with the relationship with his son. And then
Yep.
in Creed, it's like, well, he's not. You're telling me his son doesn't know he has cancer. You're telling me he's that distant. I just don't buy it. But I get for the sake of the story, why they had to do that.
Right. This is
Bad
very.
jokes early.
She wanted to smile, but she didn't want to smile. She's like that joke was so corny.
Yeah, she's so brilliant in this. Her body language is just
Hmm. What pet shop has a 200-pound mastiff?
That one.
Look at him.
look how pissed he gets. This because she has to clean up cat shit.
No doubt.
You know, you're right, Jason. He does. He gets up and he looks at Gloria like, what are you doing, telling her to go downstairs and clean? And he's almost like he right there. He wants to protect her. He wants to.
Yeah, he
You
took
know.
offense to that, no doubt.
Absolutely.
It was, you know what it was? It reminds me of a situation when I was dating my wife. She wanted Rocky out of there, so he sent her down there because that would make him leave, right? He wouldn't be
Mhm.
sticking around.
Sure.
She worked at Swiss Chalet. I don't know if you guys have. It's a Canadian thing. It's like a chicken restaurant.
Okay.
And I used to go and hang out with her. She was the bartender, and I would order food, watch the hockey game and stuff. And
Okay.
they told her, you can't. Okay, it's good like favoritism. You can't have him here all the time. And she goes, he's buying food, he's drinking beer, he's making you
Right.
money,
Right.
right? It was kind of like that. I was like, I kind of stared the girl down like that. I was like,
Yeah. Right. Not the face. Not the face.
Yeah.
poor Bob.
It'll break your thumbs.
Watching this on VHS takes me back to a kid. This got a different color and a different.
Oh,
feel to
sure.
it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's got like static lines going here and there.
I got a laser disc too.
Do you really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I got most of them. I don't have Rocky 3. I haven't found Rocky 3 on VHS yet.
Oh no,
Oh,
kidding.
eBay's got to have it. eBay's
Yeah.
got everything.
I bought Rocky 1, 2, 3 series from the old what the hell? It was like BJ's or something way back when.
Right.
Yeah. And VHS, yeah.
Yeah, he's not. You think he was actually breaking thumbs before, or
Yeah,
do you think
that's
he's?
just it. You could tell if he didn't do it there, he was never doing it. But then again, Gazzo said something to him this time, like, do what I tell you to do. So maybe he was, because that's the first time it seems like Gazzo had to address the problem.
Yeah, so he must have been. That's what I mean. I think he's just had enough of this. Like, Ledger says, "Will the Creed movies be in these watch-alongs?" No, not that I don't like them. It's just that I don't know. It's just I don't feel like doing the Creed ones. I just want to go from Rocky 1 to Rocky 6, and it's just time. I'm just busy.
Yeah, Rocky to Balboa. That's the franchise right there.
That's the story, really.
Look at him. He did all that for $20.
Yeah.
It's a good trivia question. How much money did Gazzo pay Rocky in the whole movie from beginning to end?
Right.
$570.
Oh wow, no kidding.
He gives him $20 there. He gives him $50 to go on the date with Adrian.
Okay.
And then he gives him $500 for training.
Training expenses. Yeah. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
In front of Pat's cheesesteaks.
Now, if you guys watch coming up here, this is one of my favorite shots in the franchise, because the way the camera sits, you see the fence and the dirt and the filth everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's like Rocky's on a road, but he's going nowhere. He's got, it's like, there he is. And that's why I think about this character, this loner guy, just walking, but really not having a destination.
Right.
A little lost, so to speak, because he hasn't had the shot yet here. It's still.
Sure. And you know about that part there where Gazzo took the puffer of the the asthma puffer.
Right.
He was really having an asthma attack.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you look at Rocky's face, he's looking all around. He doesn't want to look Gazzo in the eye.
No. He doesn't want to do this shit no more. He's tired.
No, he doesn't.
He's got too much heart for it. He's like,
yeah.
What am I supposed to be muscle for the? And I think he does think he's I think Rocky thinks there's more potential in him. Like, now he would have broke that guy's thumb, no doubt, for sure. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
that's
he was
thing.
a real thug.
How
he would have went after the driver too.
Yeah, buddy.
He was a real thug.
Yeah, buddy. He's got
Buddy.
I'm surprised he didn't do something to Buddy.
Yeah. Boy, can that guy get it? And I heard he was just like somebody that the producers had met, and they're like, "Hey, we want you to drive the car."
I'm sure their budget was, it's almost nothing.
Yeah, it was under $1 million.
Yeah.
Shot in 28 days. It's hard to believe.
They were pulling up in vans, jumping out with equipment, filming a scene, because they couldn't do anything because they had no labor. I mean, no union labor.
Right.
So they had to get out, film, and get back in the van before anybody caught that they were doing something and get in trouble.
Ledger says I need to go, but like Arnold keeps saying, I'll be back. Okay, buddy. Hey David, what's going on, buddy? Cool podcast. Welcome to Rocky Land. I'm watching now with one hand push up. Yes, I like that.
There you go.
and things just pile up on the man. They keep piling up, with Buddy insulting him, people insulting him that he's a bad fighter. Mickey's about to insult him.
Yeah,
other shit happens, and then it gets too much, and there's that great scene that we'll watch later in the apartment where he blows up at Mickey, and it's just it's all Stallone's reactions here, man. It's fantastic.
Oh yeah. He just takes the fire extinguisher. He's like, well, I don't know this lady.
He's in a bad mood. So am I.
Yeah. Yeah, he's having himself a day, right?
He is.
And you see him go through one of his regular days. You see how slow he moves through the world. Like,
yeah.
like Stallone has said, you know, he sees things that people just don't see, like with Adrian and stuff, like because he's just walking through the world so slow, like.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta put my bag on Skid Row.
Now we finally meet Mickey.
Yeah, he's great in this.
Oh God, isn't he? He's awesome.
He's so good. He's almost like a stereotype now, but he's so good in this.
Mm-hmm.
Just a miserable old goat.
First words he says is "shut up."
What do you want?
He asks him how he's feeling.
You a doctor or something? That's
Yeah.
You know what you could do now and bring Dipper back is you could do a Cobra Guy for the next Rocky, where Rocky has a gym with kids and Dipper has a gym with kids, and Dipper's kind
Oh,
of like
I
a
like
real
it.
bitter.
Oh.
Dipper's kind of like he's like a bitter
Yeah.
boxer because he was with Mickey, and you could
Yeah.
do this thing where because what else you gonna do with Rocky now at his age? Like that'd be a good
That's
avenue.
actually a
And
pretty cool idea.
That's a
and they
very
do
good
boxing.
idea.
Yeah,
You've
they
seen
do
the
these.
pictures of the deleted scenes with Dipper, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
So there was more to it than just this little scene.
yeah, exactly. And I thought, you know, if they want to bring Rocky back for one more, or even in a little mini series like Cobra Kai did, you could Cobra Kai if Stallone was up for it,
Right.
because you know he'd have to be up for it. And I think if he had control of it, it would be really good.
That would be the main thing. He could never walk into a set, especially with Rocky, and have somebody else take the reins,
Right.
Yeah.
which I can't blame him.
Yeah.
Oh no, not at all, Tony. Not at all. But what a great idea, though.
Yeah.
Having Dipper being bitter, you know, having been passed over, you know, holding that grudge for all those years.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic idea.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
is.
and then he'll learn something at the end of it. He'll learn that, you know, he has kids, but he's just teaching. He's like John Kreese in Karate Kid. He'd be
Yeah.
like that. He'd be like
Yeah.
that character, right?
Sure.
It's like because Dipper would still be a good fighter. It's just that he was a contender who got passed over for all intensive purposes a bum.
Yeah. Nobody. Yeah.
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 All because his name was Italian Stallion.
Yeah. You could be like one area Philly's Dipper, the other Philly's Rocky, and it could
Yeah.
be like a
Oh wow.
yeah.
That's like-
You
yeah.
Cobra Kai. It's essentially Cobra Kai.
Yeah. Well, it is. But then you could bring in other people, like they brought in, you know, the guy from Japan that he went up against in Cobra Kai.
And then I thought you could have someone digging through the trash, right? You don't see his face, and Rocky's like, "What are you hanging around my gym for? Who are?" It ends up being Clever Lang, and he kind of like gets a second shot.
Nice.
And him and Rocky like kind of team up to handle Dipper. I think that'd be cool. They're at the age where you could do it too.
Oh, sure.
You know what I mean?
That's oh my. You know, it's funny hearing other people's ideas because
Yeah.
you get so consumed in like my own thoughts and where things could go, but then you hear an outside opinion, and it's like, oh my, I never thought of it that
Yeah.
way.
Same here.
But
Exactly
that's
the
so
same. Rick.
cool.
That's
That
exactly
is
the
so
same.
cool.
Because in Creed 2, don't get me wrong, I like how he was with his son, his grandchild, all nice, but Rocky will never stay in another place. I think he'd always be bound for Philly again.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think he'd. It's just who he is. The city is
Yeah.
a part of him. Like,
Yeah.
The Lucky Seven.
we get to meet, rest in
Oh,
peace,
Timmy,
Burt Young.
yeah.
We get to meet one of the greatest characters.
Yep.
The guy
Another
he's
needle.
carrying, the guy he's carrying, wasn't that like a cameraman?
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah, he was. I mean, the whole entire cast, except for Carl Weathers, was nominated for Oscars. Rocky and Talia Shire had Best Actor and Best Actress, and everybody else had Best Supporting. I don't know how they did not nominate Carl Weathers, but they didn't.
That's
But
crazy.
Burt Young and Burgess Meredith got it.
But
And well earned, well deserved.
so many of these extras though were like just part of the film crew.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Or just some guy on the street.
Yep.
Hey,
Yeah.
come on.
That's the way
put me
they
in the
do it.
movie.
That's the way they do it.
Well, he's combing his
It's
hair
like
in like a 6-inch piece of mirror.
he's like he's selling a Rocky. He's got no crowd around him. You can do better than her.
He was not nice to his sister.
No.
Not nice at all.
And Paulie's really the mirror of what Rocky could be like if he didn't,
Sure.
if he wasn't so optimistic in life. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, these guys are definitely yin and yang.
Because if you notice the pictures later on in Paulie's house, you see Paulie in the Navy.
Yep.
So he was like, that's a big thing. He was in the
Yeah.
Navy.
I know. I
Came
was wondering
home.
about that. Did he get like dishonorably discharged because he was drinking too much and got into some drunken fight with a general or something and got kicked out?
I think he had plans, and raising Adrian wasn't one of them.
Right.
I think that's what happened down the road.
I love the beer bottle Schmitz. that was a Pennsylvania beer.
Yeah, it's a local beer.
Yeah. But we used to have it up here in New York.
Well, the funny part is that these interiors are not shot in Philly. So it's like they had to import that to LA, I guess.
Oh, no kidding.
Most of these interiors are all in LA.
Nope.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's pretty common in filmmaking.
Yeah.
That usually your interiors are somewhere else. Like when they shot the remake of It, the interiors were Casa Loma, the exterior was in the town I live in, or the city I live in.
Uh-huh.
So
Well, it's just like Mickey's Gym. The exteriors, you've seen the building, and the interiors are, are in LA as well. Same thing with the apartment.
You don't think of that stuff. You're watching the movie. I've never really thought of that stuff. I just get so
Well,
engrossed. I get
but
so
that's the
engrossed in
thing.
the movie.
Right. You should be. I mean, movies are escapism, and you should be engrossed in the movie and not worrying about, hey, that doesn't look like the inside of the bar. I mean, just enjoy it, man.
Yeah. Every time I try to like dissect it or get, we're getting ready for a show or taping or whatever, and you're like, okay, I'm going to study this. I just get lost. I just start watching. I can't help it.
Watch it. Yeah.
I just watch it. I'm like, oh shit, I forgot to do it.
I've done a that scene shows how much respect Rocky has for Apollo.
Oh,
Yeah.
God,
The guy worked the guy earned the title. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Now I heard this was another scene they were going to cut out because they were just taking the director wanted to let's move this thing on. But this is what makes Rocky so great is the like I said, you're with him. Now he's going to teach a good lesson to a young girl who needs it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like he's a friend to everyone in the neighborhood.
Sure.
Looking out for everyone, right?
Sure. Trying to be a mentor.
Yeah, well, 6 hours later, he was going to break somebody's thumbs. Now he's teaching some little girl not to smoke.
Yeah.
You'll end up like me, breaking thumbs and being a wise guy.
Exactly.
And I hate to jump ahead, but I love how that came full circle in Balboa.
Oh yeah.
Little Marie.
I just love how that came. He brought that back, and that was just so awesome.
And it was really good that they did not make her a love interest because I think everybody would have lost their minds if he was with anybody but Adrian.
Right.
So I mean, it was very smart to not do that. Plus, I mean, he had to have nothing.
Right.
Like he has now.
Tony, I got pissed when little Marie kissed him on. I'm like, yo, what are you doing?
She gave him the picture of Adrian though, so that's okay.
Yeah, I know, but I was like, yo, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's he was confident. He asked his wife, I think, Stallone said, should I make them a love interest? Like kind of almost a love. And she goes, no, don't do that. No.
Dare.
No kidding.
I think I would have been. I would have walked out. I think I
I'm
would have walked out.
surprised he even thought of it, like to try that. Like just he
Yeah,
knows
that's
he
not a
knows
good
what
fit.
soulmates they were and how they were just drawn to each other. I mean, Adrian
Yeah.
hasn't said 2 words. He's
Yeah.
obviously the more social one of the two.
Yeah.
They belong together.
Right.
Yeah, it's completely out of Rocky's character. He just wouldn't.
Yeah. Screw you, creepo.
Screw you.
Yeah. Yeah, screw you, creepo.
Great
Yeah, but
insult.
he's believing it. You see how unconfident he really is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Great insults last a long time.
I didn't say that. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did. Oh my God, priceless.
I like how he's always shadow boxing when he's walking, and he's
Yeah.
always shrugging his shoulders back
Yeah.
and forth.
Yep.
That's what my daughter
Pretty
said
good.
the first time they watched it. The 2 of them was with me on the couch, and at the time when they first saw it, I don't know, they were young teens, like 10 and 12 or something. And they're like, "Why is he always going like this?" That's just who he is.
He's ready.
You know who had body language like that was did you guys see Warrior with Tom Hardy?
I did not.
No.
Oh man, you got to see that about these 2 brothers who fight in the final in the UFC, like a UFC.
Okay.
But Tom Hardy has this like real shrug shoulder, but he's a real mean. Like he's full of piss and vinegar.
I've heard of that movie too.
It's so good, dude. You got to check it out. But
I will definitely.
he could play a Rocky if gotten the chance. He could play at least a fighter on it. He has
An
that fighter
underdog
kind
boxer or something. Yeah.
Yeah, Tom Hardy's a man of a million faces.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
No
he's
doubt.
so good in it.
Yeah, no doubt. That guy can play a lot.
When you're first introduced to Apollo Creed, which is this scene here, I mean, seeing it in the theater and you really don't know where it's going, you definitely didn't like him, but you didn't hate him.
Right.
You were like, who's this mouthy guy mouthing off for what he wants to do?
He was so overconfident, but he was so you could tell that he was the best though.
Oh God, yeah, he was Muhammad Ali. That's the way Ali was.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, absolutely shades of Ali, and I think a lot of people who might have been boxing fans who might have went to that could, see that correlation and knew where it was coming from. So you don't hate the guy, you respect the guy, but you may not love the guy.
Right.
He's trying to protect. He's almost near the end, I guess, too, where he's protecting his legacy now. So he wants to. What better way to give him the greatest legacy by giving an underdog a shot?
Sure.
He didn't think this guy was gonna.
Oh
he
no.
was gonna carry him and just be the champ and.
No, that's it.
Well,
that's just like Durgan says to him. That's very American, and Creed's like, no, it's very smart.
Yeah,
and he's right. It was very smart.
Yeah,
it was very smart, and that's the thing I don't like. I like a lot of things about Rocky Balboa, but I do not like Mason Lyon Dixon. I think he tried for an Apollo Creed, but he failed at it. He comes across as just a disrespectful, arrogant a-hole. He doesn't have that Creed chemistry to him.
On the flip side of that, that is what he was supposed to be. And, he's thinking he's underappreciated heavyweight champ. He's thinking, I'm doing this for all you guys. When he said that about the fight.
I guess it's just the way he comes across is not the same. It's just like I didn't care for the character at all. Like,
yeah, no, I agree. He says, "Take it to the zoo." You couldn't even write that line today.
I'm calling you a bum.
Everybody would get an uproar. Take her to the zoo.
Yeah.
The funny part is that in Rocky 2, he takes her to the zoo.
Yeah. But you never know. You never would have known, the correlation other than behind the backs, behind the scenes that they were supposed to be stepbrothers, Gazzo and Rocky.
Oh, in the original draft, I guess. Or
yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It kind of would have added a good layer to it, I guess, because in Rocky's eyes, Gazzo's successful.
Yeah.
Quote unquote. But
did you notice? I got to point this out real quick. In the last scene, when he's arguing with Buddy and Gazzo, the feather on the fedora,
yeah,
the blue feather,
yeah.
but it's never to be seen again and anymore.
My old man loves this scene, how he picks him out of a book. He's
Yeah.
just like, it was a brilliant way of doing something.
Yeah, well, obviously, as you know, 47 years ago, there's no internet, there's no Google.
Oh yeah.
So he's going through books for registered fighters, and registered fighters have their name and their record and their nickname. And look, what does Duke say? What's the first thing Duke says?
Southpaw. They do everything bad.
Yep.
They're backwards. I'm actually a southpaw.
Oh yeah.
Oh no kidding.
It's weird. When I was working out at the gym years ago, there's a boxer there. I said, "Can you show me how to use that heavy bag? Because I feel like I'm doing it wrong." So he says, "Okay, make a stance." So I got my boxing gloves and showed me some combos. And as soon as I stood, he goes, "You're a southpaw." I go, "Am I?" He
Am
goes,
I?
"Yeah, you're a south." But yet I write with my right hand. But any baseball, I'm left. Hockey, I'm left.
Oh,
But
okay.
boxing,
Wow.
yeah, it's weird. I throw with my right though. I catch with my
Wow.
left. but
Really?
yeah, I'm all backwards. But yeah,
South
I'm like,
Jersey.
yeah. So I
So-
jab with my right.
Yeah, with your right. Yeah.
I jab with my right. That this feels freaking weird.
Huh. It's crazy.
Yeah, like Rick said, everybody wanted a box when this movie came out. I mean, by the time I was 10 when it came out, and after Rocky 2 came out, I was 12. And I did, Rick. I went to the police department. They had a PBA, the Police
Yeah.
Boxing Association.
Yeah.
I learned how to fight. I learned how to use the heavy bag and the speed bag and everything.
Sure.
You know, you're thinking you're Rocky.
Right. Yeah.
My
Well, that's
dad
what
was a gold gloves at the
Oh, wow.
like the Y or something like that in the 60s.
Oh my God.
Nice.
Yeah, he was born in 55. So this would have been like 69.
Okay.
He was gold gloves. He boxed a little bit because his uncle's boxed in the army and stuff.
That's
Nice.
awesome. Well, that's one thing I can say is the refrigerator never hit back.
Yeah.
Like
I find it funny that Rocky has never been to Paulie's.
Yeah,
Like-
true.
It's weird that it feels like this is the first time Rocky's ever been there.
Right.
There's the blue
Yeah.
feather, Rick.
And let's just cut to the chase. Best Thanksgiving movie ever, right?
Me
Every
and
Thanksgiving.
my brothers used to we'd rip the leg off at Thanksgiving. Oh, you want the bird? Go in the alley and eat the bird.
Yeah, every Thanksgiving this movie Rocky has got to be played.
Except for Thanksgiving for me, it was like a month ago already. So,
That's true. That's
Oh,
true.
that's right.
I do remember. Yeah, I remember seeing that being posted.
She's making every excuse possible to not go with him. She's
I know
extremely
Paulie's rough around the edges and everything. This was horrible what he did to her, but in a way, it pushed her out there, and she would have never went if.
Yep.
Well, what really, and obviously it's not a scene that's happening real soon, but later on when he comes home with the bat, is where she really when she tells Rocky, "Do you want a roommate?"
Yeah.
I don't think Paulie thought they were gonna like each other. After, I don't think he thought they were gonna be as close as they got.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know because
There's his picture in the Marines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe part of it was he didn't want her to go because, like she says later on, I cook for you, I clean for you, I do everything for you, Paulie. So he's getting taken care of. Maybe he didn't want her to go.
Yeah, maybe.
Good point. Very good point. But when he's holding the leg, that's the picture I send every Thanksgiving to everybody. I'm like, Happy Thanksgiving with Polly holding the leg.
She comes out dressed like an Eskimo.
Yeah.
I'd be probably wearing my hoodie in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
It's cold in Canada, so I don't.
Right?
Yeah, right. You guys probably got 4 foot of snow already.
No, not yet. It's very cold and drizzly here today. Like the
Oh,
rain,
boy.
it's raining a lot, but it's a
Yeah.
cold rain.
Yep.
Like it's 6 degrees in Canada. I don't know what it is
Okay.
for you guys.
Well, I'm way south, so I'm in
Yeah.
Florida. Probably about
Florida, you move
probably
better in
about
Florida.
70 today, 72.
70. I was changing my alternator. It was like 40 degrees and rain.
Yeah.
Well, for us, 0 degrees is freezing. Like -1 is freezing. So 0. So like I don't know. Like 82 degrees would be like, I don't know, 28 for us.
Right.
Oh,
Something like
okay.
that. Yeah, it's different. It's I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know the
Fahrenheit,
it?
Celsius.
The conversion.
yeah. I don't know the conversion. I don't know the
Yeah.
conversion at all.
But it still sounds cold.
Yeah.
28
Yeah.
Either way, it's cold.
It gets like -20 here though. Like for us, the -20 is cold. Like that's like
Look how she looks.
that's like
at
your
herself.
car's going.
Yeah.
She looks at herself in the mirror in that scene and like so unsure of herself. And
Yeah, and look at what Rocky does when he comes down the steps and opens the gate.
yeah,
How I don't want to say uncouth, is that the word I'm looking for? I mean, he spits. It's
Yeah, he
like,
spits.
yeah,
He spits. That's right. He's so or when he's in the apartment later, there's shit all over the his couch. Why don't you come over and sit down? Have you seen
Yeah.
your couch? That's why she doesn't want to sit down.
oh my god,
Uh,
it's so true though. So true.
Film Kid says such a good and iconic movie. Absolutely, best movie of
Oh,
all
yeah.
time. And Rick, you got the alternate poster, eh? I got the one where he's standing on the steps.
Okay, I have that
Yeah.
one over mine.
Yeah, you have the one where they're walking down the ring after.
Yeah,
I get.
I have that on the steps over there. I have Rocky and Adrian there, and then I have. Let's see if I can do this right. Nope, this way. I have
And I-
that Rocky
That one.
and Adrian.
I had to buy this one from
There you go. From John.
Oh yeah,
John. From John. Yeah, my son picked up the frame. He says, "Dad, you got to get this frame, this gold frame."
Beautiful.
beautiful.
Well, the poster behind Rick, now this was in New York anyway, New York City. I don't know where it was the rest of it, but the poster behind Rick, that was what they called an advanced poster. That was out before the movie came out.
This one.
And then the one of them walking. Yeah, that one there.
Oh, that one.
And then the one behind Jason where his arms at the top of the steps.
Yeah.
That's when the movie was released.
Okay.
And then they released another one of that one at the top of the stairs that had best picture, best
Yes. Yes.
that on there after obviously the Oscars. So yeah, that's but yeah, I got the one. I have the two of those as well.
Film Kid says my personal favorite is Rocky IV. So was mine when I was your age.
Rocky IV.
Okay. Okay.
Rocky IV, when you're young, it's got a lot going on. It's got music video. It's got
Yeah.
colors.
good.
It's got grandiose performances. Apollo's, it's got a lot of stuff. I mean, I get it.
That's what I introduced my kids to was Rocky IV
Right.
because I knew that all that action and was going to either grab them or not.
Right.
Whereas,
I was the
Rocky,
opposite. I made my girls watch it in order.
well,
Yeah.
I understand that theory.
I mean, when Rocky IV came out, I was 19. I mean, so
okay.
I was just I was like 6 years old, 7 years old.
6, 7 years old.
So it was very impressionable to me.
Sure. Oh yeah.
And
same
them
with,
killing
like Rocky, I was 10. I mean,
Yeah.
so it's a younger.
them killing Apollo just messed me up. I was like, what?
Yeah, what is
Yeah,
going
right.
on?
Right.
Film Kids with me and the actor who plays Ivan Drago share a birthday. Dolph.
Oh, there you go.
Wow.
Dolph just had his birthday.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no doubt.
I share a birthday with Kurt Russell.
Do you really? That's
Yeah,
cool.
on St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, all
Very
right.
nice.
Look how he takes the picture out of his pocket. He wants to like show off to her and kind of impress her.
Yeah.
And I like how when I was watching the Slide documentary, how this was an accident because they couldn't get all the extras, but it makes
Yeah.
it more intimate. The date. That's what's
Yes.
so good
Yeah.
about it. Is nothing's. It would have been distracting almost.
Right.
Oh yeah, if there was a bunch of people skating around, it wouldn't have been near as good.
Right. Well, since you brought up that Slide documentary, doesn't it now? I want to go back and really rewatch it because
Yeah.
with everything that was Sly talked about and how he brought his emotions from his upbringing into Rocky, I think it puts a whole new spin on it.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Especially that Mickey, the Mickey scene. Now I
Yeah.
know why his acting was so good.
Yeah.
right?
He was channeling something that was that was just pure like getting it out. That was
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
and
That was-
apparently
that was,
he said what was it, the first take they weren't filming.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, he said it was the
Like-
best take.
It's like man, could you? I would have forgotten. You can't ever get it back.
Right.
I couldn't imagine what it would have been like. But
And he said it was the best take. Can you imagine how much better it must have been if he was saying it was the best take than what was actually put on the film?
yeah. And the
I
one
can't
that
even
was
imagine
the
that.
one that was in the film was amazing.
Right. That's what I'm.
Um,
yeah, my point exactly.
yeah,
And
exactly.
know-
Alan Bauer says my son is 13 and has never seen Rocky. I have the first 5 on Blu-ray. We'll be watching at least the first one with him this weekend.
There
I
you
hope
go,
he likes
Alan.
it. I hope he likes it. Oh, I don't know
Oh,
many
he
people
will.
who don't. Film Kiss says, what's your favorite Rocky sequel? But it can't be Rocky 4, and we're including the Creed movies. Well, I'll be doing a ranking at the end of the month, buddy. So, but I'll say Rocky 2 and Rocky Balboa could be potential winners for second. I'm a Rocky purist kind of, so I like
Yeah.
a lot of the early ones.
sure.
Mine used to go Rocky 2, Rocky 4, Rocky 3. But then after Balboa came out, yeah, Balboa went to 2.
Well, that's the beauty thing. Like you watch this one, you relate to him in one way.
Yeah.
If you've lost a spouse or if you're at that age where
Yep.
time's ticking away, man, I can see Rocky Balboa being one of the best movies
Oh,
you've
yeah.
ever seen
Yeah.
because of how you can relate to him.
Sure.
He's like the only movie character who we've seen age and go full circle, right?
Right.
And
Absolutely.
that's what I like about him so much. Like when I turned 60, I'm probably going to look at Rocky Balboa in a whole new light.
Oh
Like,
yeah. No,
I
you will.
like it as it is now. So I can't imagine what other people think about it who are at a different age than me.
Well, when you get up to our age, the legs aren't the same. You can't do the things that you used to do, like you used to want. You like to do. Things are a little bit slower, a little bit more.
Yeah.
They're a little harder. So you can completely relate with what Rocky is going through. So I don't. You just feel it. You can just feel it, and you empathize, and I don't know. It's just you just know it, and that's probably
Yeah.
why we can. Tony and I can really so much, and others at our age, because you're hearing the words that he's saying to us, to Rocky Jr. and the things he's going through. To me, it just speaks volumes.
Sure.
Yeah.
I love how he pushes the door open like a little bit further.
Yeah, come on.
Come on. But you know what it is so nice about it? Like he's starting to break her out of the shell because he's talking about, getting beat up and his nose and this and that.
Yeah.
I never broke this nose. 46 fights. I never broke this nose.
I'm proud of that.
He's like, yeah, I'm proud of that. And she's like, well, why do you do that? You know, she's talking to him. I mean, that didn't even happen at the pet shop.
No,
You
you're
know,
right.
and he goes, you know, you just do this, and why do you think I do it? And she's like, because you can't sing or dance. And he, oh, hey, yo, you know, there's a little banter going on. But now she could show where she's really uncomfortable now.
Well, yeah, I mean, the guy's basically, you know, I mean, Rocky is kind of disrobing.
Yeah.
You know?
She's
Yeah.
never been in a man's apartment, never mind one that looked like this.
Right. And he's taking his, you know, his shirts off, and he's like, yo.
Showing her the turtles that he bought from her. Like,
Right.
like she doesn't remember.
Nice hole in the wife beater too.
I know, right?
Yeah. I had to get rid of that mountain.
Yeah. They kept falling.
Like, look at his couch, man. Like, oh.
The hell with the big bugs. What's
It's
on the
a
couch?
disaster. It's such a disaster.
And then later on, you see how much he cleans it up.
Yeah.
When he
Yeah.
comes back from when he takes the walk in the ring and comes back to.
Yeah, she's looking around. She's not comfortable at all.
Alan Bauer says, me and my son usually just watch classic horror films. We've seen every Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, and Leatherface. I really think you will like Rocky, though. Everybody loves Rocky, man. I think I'll like it.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of hard not to. It's
You know, there's levels of the fandom for Rocky. You either love and appreciate the film and the character, you know, or you have the complete opposite end of the spectrum, like Rick and I. You know,
Yeah.
You know, so it's
yeah, I understand maybe not loving the later movies. Like some people may not like 3 and 4
yeah.
as movie fans, but I think everyone looks at this movie and goes, "No, that's just a great movie.
Yeah.
That's a classic, great movie." she shakes her head like, "Oh my god!" She's yelling out the window.
She closed her eyes like, did that just happen? Like,
Yeah.
definitely needs some polishing and manners,
Right.
but he means well. Look at the mattress wrapped around whatever that is, a
Yep.
pole.
Where he punches things.
Yeah, he's punching the.
You're my guest.
Yeah, you're my guest. I like how she spins around and gets a little assertive. I don't belong here. I mean, think about it. She's never been in a man's apartment. She's never been with a guy. She's probably never even gone out on a date.
Right.
But he says to her, I'm not so comfortable either here.
Yeah.
Like he's
Yeah,
trying,
that's
right?
a great
He's
line,
trying.
Jason. Great line. Yep.
Now this right here, modern audiences just don't get. They just
Yeah.
they think he's cornering her and he's
Yeah.
not letting her leave. Well, she chose to go up there. Like I may say that wrong.
No, I know.
She trusts him. She's trusted him.
Yeah.
I think she really feels like he wouldn't harm her.
I agree with you. They're taking it too far. They're looking too deep into it, and they're trying to make something negative.
Trying to
out of just what it is.
they're trying to make sense of putting their modern thinking on a 70s world.
Right. Exactly. Well
Like,
put.
Yeah. I heard the same thing. I've read the same thing where people were picking this scene apart. And I completely agree with you guys.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they act like they walked into the apartment and he threw her on the bed and ripped her clothes off. I mean,
Right.
No, and if you're looking at Talia, she just did it. She's looking up at him and she's almost saying okay, how do I say this? She's saying she wants to be kissed, but she doesn't want to tell him.
Yeah.
She's so shy, but you could tell in her eyes that
Like, see, she's looking up and she's moving her head.
does that look like a girl who wants to leave?
No.
No. Look at her face.
No. But I did hear about what were they showing it in college classes or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. I heard.
People were
all the
were
college
saying-
students were, oh, it's against their will and blah blah. Lighten up, Francis.
Yeah.
Yeah, We're old. So we
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. They would have never laughed at that.
right. They wouldn't know where the hell that came from.
Yeah.
But I mean, like Jason said, look, does she look like she wants to leave? She's kissing him back. You know, he went to stop her. Yes. Because he knew if she got out of that door, it might not happen again.
Right.
Yeah. Alan says, I'm pumped to get to the Balboa movies. I've never seen them. Not pumped to watch part 5 again, though. You know what? I would give 5 a shot because it's growing on. It's growing on me. Even though it's my least favorite, it's not a bad movie at all. Like,
No.
there's just
Same,
things in
you
it.
know, I think it's my least favorite as well. My biggest problem is, to be honest, it's not the storyline. It's how Sly acts like Rocky, which surprises the hell out of me because it's not like he just started acting like Rocky. I mean, this is 14 years after playing Rocky for the first time.
Yeah, I feel like he's impersonating Rocky more than
Exactly.
getting in the character.
Sounds like a Saturday Night Live skit.
And I think as soon as Tommy Gunn shows up, I really start losing interest in the movie.
He's so bad. He is so bad. His acting is so bad.
I don't know though. But it's got great moments.
Sure.
Oh yeah,
it
does.
Sure it does. I hate the way I know it was brain damage, but just the way it just dumbed him down too much. Like you said, he was impersonating Rocky. Yeah, that's
Look, Rocky yells in this scene. He wants to know. He wants to hear how bad he is. I think to get a kick in the ass.
See, that showed right there that Mickey believes in this or believed in him at one point and wanted him to take the initiative.
Yep.
To get better or to show interest. I don't know. We don't know really a lot about Rocky's past, but there you go.
No, you're right. He saw what he was doing, and he's like, it's a life, like he says. And Rocky's face is just like he's just a beaten man at that point.
Oh yeah, only a father would be that bad.
Exactly. Yeah. I love here where he asks for the card.
Yeah.
So can I keep that?
Now, normally in storytelling, your inciting incident comes before. We're only getting to it now. This is kind of like the turning point of the story, right?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, 1 hour in.
We're 1 hour in, aren't we?
Yep.
Something like that.
Yep.
Yeah. Can't tell I'm on VHS. So.
Yeah. Rick, you got a VHS player?
I do.
Do you? I got to go get one. Mine broke. I never replaced it. I only have like 6 movies.
I am watching on my original PlayStation.
Oh yeah, okay.
But I have the Laserdisc player, the PlayStation.
I'm gonna go buy the Blu-ray Steelbooks that are out now.
Okay.
Did you guys get this? This was sent to me by a friend. I didn't because I couldn't get it in Canada. But this is the Rambo Steelbooks, the 4K one. So he sent that to me from the States. All 5 of them.
Oh my god!
So it's,
no, I don't have that.
So here I'll. But anyways, so they all come with like they're all in a steelbook. So that's John Rambo.
Oh,
it's beautiful. It's a beautiful set.
Okay.
And I'm still got. He sent that to me because I couldn't. It's a Best Buy exclusive, but only in the States, not in Canada.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the way the Rockies are. Well, I don't know if they're not in Canada, but
so he's just a young guy, and he's a huge Rambo fan. And I said, well, I owe you one. I owe you one. So I've been stacking up some stuff for him. So I'm going to send him the original Rocky record on vinyl, and he likes Nightmare on Elm Street. So I'm going to send him some VHS tapes. Nice. But I said, dude, I opened it up. I went, are you kidding me?
That's
I mean,
awesome.
it's not a cheap set. Like, it's not a cheap set.
I'm sure.
That's awesome.
Oh, he takes the fight. The fight.
Isn't it funny how they don't show him saying yes? I always thought about that. All you hear is Jurgen say, "This is chance of a lifetime. Don't let it pass by. And then they
Right.
just show Rocky standing there, like thinking, and then they
Yep.
go to Paulie's house, and he's on the TV.
Sure. And I was going to say, I just saw, I can't remember the actor's real name, but Jurgens. I just saw him on Columbo not that long ago.
Uh,
I'm like, what? My
his
wife
first name's
actually.
Thayer, right? Like Thayer.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Film
Deb
Kid
actually-
says,
Look how opening up Adrian is. Like she's putting her hand on his back, and
yeah, they've probably been dating. They've probably seen each other a couple of weeks now, maybe
yeah,
a week. I don't know.
yeah.
We don't. Who knows? But Film Kid says I have to go, but I might be able to come back. Nice live stream. Thank you. And he says before I leave, I'm just gonna say that's my favorite Rambo movie. It's a controversial opinion, but it's part 2.
Part 2.
Part 2 is good. Part 2 is my least favorite Rambo film. Not
Really?
as a kid, but it feel like Rambo just felt like a cartoon in it.
Yeah, well, he was.
Cartoony. He wasn't that First Blood
What?
character anymore. He was
Right. Yeah,
it
one
just-
guy taking on a whole country and blowing them, shooting them and whatever.
But action film, it's awesome. Alan Bauer says it blew my mind as a kid that Burgess Meredith was the guy from the Twilight Zone episode where he just wants more time to read his books. Blew my mind again when I saw him in other episodes as well.
Yeah.
He was a great actor.
Oh,
Great
yeah.
character actor, man.
He was the Penguin in the Batman TV series.
Yeah.
Yep.
That blew
yep.
my mind. When I made that correlation between
Yeah.
Batman and Rocky, I'm like, oh, now I get it.
Here's my good buddy Matt from Facci Cinema. Jason, my man, how's it going, brother? Good, buddy. I'm very, very good. I'm always good when I'm watching Rocky. Come on, man.
Yeah, right.
Paulie's hinting around to try to get a job. Need anybody to
Yeah.
hand you a towel?
Einstein flunked out of school, created his own math.
Yeah, Adrian's definitely come out of her shell.
Oh yeah, yeah. She
Oh, yeah.
blossoms like
Well, right
blossoms
there, I
like,
mean,
like a flower, right? Like
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, she said something back to Paulie. I mean, she never
Yeah.
spoke back to Paulie.
Right.
She didn't say it nasty, but she said something back to him.
now, Stallone's sweater he's wearing in this picture, right?
Yeah.
Is that supposed to be Philadelphia Eagles on his?
No, it looks more
sweater?
like Indian Thunderbird to me.
Oh,
Aztec.
Yes, Aztec. Thank you, Rick.
oh, maybe it almost looks like Eagles from here.
And plus, the Eagles are green, and at the 70s
yeah.
they were green. They were green and white.
This always threw me. This part right here that he didn't have his fedora.
Yeah.
Because he's I talked about that on my channel once. The more he gets with Adrian, the more or less street like he looks to the movie. He starts looking better. He's almost combing his hair more. He
Yeah.
loses the hat. Yeah, I think that's purposely done. I think that
Oh
was
yeah,
on
I do too.
purpose. He's looking more like a gentleman, like more like
All right. Point
But how
well
great
taken.
is this part here where he stays there because he wants to tell her, he wants to vent to her that the stuff on the TV bothered him.
Right. Did.
And yeah, that stuff on TV didn't bother me none.
Alan Bauer says, any recommendations on classic one-off horror movies to watch with my son after we go through the Rocky movies? I want to ask because I love your horror reviews. Whew.
It's a great pumpkin,
So many.
Charlie Brown.
There's so many. There's a very underrated movie called Visiting Hours in the 80s with Michael Ironside, Linda Pearl. That's really good. Anything from the 70s, man, like what I've been reviewing, like Texas Chainsaw. Rosemary's Baby is amazing.
Rosemary's Baby.
You got to watch The Omen, The Exorcist, just classic stuff.
Pat's cheesesteaks. There it is.
Here's his other training money, I guess.
Where he's standing there, there's a plaque on the floor, on the street. I mean, there's a plaque.
Oh,
at
no
Pat's.
kidding.
Yeah, it says Sly Stallone was standing here filming Rocky.
Oh my God, I gotta get down there and see that.
Oh yeah, Philadelphia. I definitely want to plan a trip maybe next year for sure. I want
Nice.
to take my son.
Have you ever been, Jason?
No.
Oh, really? Okay.
No, I'm not that far. That's that sad. I'm like a 9-hour car drive. Like
Yeah, it's not bad.
I'm not that far from Philadelphia. Like really
Yeah.
to drive it. It's
Hey, you're
pretty.
closer than I am. It takes me 15 hours to drive.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm about. I can get to Detroit in 4 hours. About
Oh,
four
wow.
hours. So
Okay.
my favorite. Well, I'll save it for my big top 50 Rocky moments video. But one of my favorite scenes ever in film. This scene.
This one here?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I did a
I was
breakdown on my old channel. I broke down this scene once, and someone said, "You know, you should, Jason, you shone a lot of light on this scene because I just figured he was there for the money." And I go, "Mickey was never there for money.
No.
He was not there. He was worried that he knows Rocky. He knows Rocky's going to take a beating and keep getting up, keep getting up.
Yep.
He didn't want to see him get hurt. That's what this is about. This is about your last shot. This could be your only shot ever, kid." And you got to be ready because you're not ready. Like he sees that he's not really.
Right. I was really hoping when Sly was talking about this scene in the documentary, I was really hoping he was going to say what was said between him and Mickey in the street after he ran out to him.
Well, he kind of did. He said, "Here, come on back, come on back."
Right, right,
Yeah,
right.
it was. You know what? Us guys, we can. We're not like women and hold grudges. It's just, you know what? Yes,
Yeah.
It's train me. Let's do this. Seals
Yep.
the deal with a handshake.
That's because he got everything out of his system.
And he had to. This is the only time you see him really get mad, and he does it in front of Mickey. No, he doesn't even do it in front of Mickey. But he would never blow up on public like that, or like
Right.
keeps it inside, which can be kind of dangerous at the same time. He had
Yeah.
to let it out.
Yeah, agreed.
Well, yeah, in the documentary, he said it would have been disrespectful to do it
Yep.
to the man's face.
Yep.
Meaning either his father / Mickey,
I just love how in character these guys are. Like Stallone's just like, "Get out of my apartment. Like, I don't
Yeah.
want to talk to you. Like,
It's like, why did he
what the hell are you doing here now? Like,
Yeah.
my life is like my prime's over. I'm not gonna win this fight."
Like he takes the picture. He didn't even look down at the picture. Rocky Marciano.
Well, I got no locker.
He took,
Exactly.
just gave him a big shot there.
Oh yeah.
And you see how Mickey's face changed right there? Like he was trying to talk right, and then when he said that, he like realized like I really hurt this guy by taking his locker.
Yep.
I don't think he realized how much it hurt him. I think he just thought, I had another fighter
Agreed.
needed it. Like I think Mickey thought like, well, you're finished. What do you care? Realize that like that meant a lot to him.
Right.
Brother Fluff says I went to the Rocky Steps once, but it was pouring down rain.
Oh, sorry.
It's still
about that.
awesome.
It would still be awesome, but like that's the one roll of the dice when you go. It's like it's outside, so.
Hey, let me tell you, the first time I ever got down to the Rocky Steps, it was all fenced off. I couldn't even get near the statue.
Oh, get out!
I swear to God, because they were redoing all the landscaping and the brickwork, so I couldn't even get near it. I was like 50 feet away.
Oh,
I was freaking heartbroken.
The very first time I ever saw the statue used to be in front of the Philadelphia Spectrum. And that's where the very first time I saw the statue in person.
That's going back, Tony.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, so I had to take my pictures in front of the statue with a big fence in front of me or behind me.
I've been to the steps in the statue 3 times. Luckily, good weather and no construction.
Okay.
Cracks me up on how he goes into the bathroom.
Yeah.
Just to get away from Mickey.
I like before that though, where he's he's telling him, I want to take care of you, I want to protect you, I want to make sure all the shit that doesn't happen to you.
Yeah.
I mean, does that look like a guy who's there for financial gain?
No,
No, no.
exactly.
Would it be good for his gym? Of course it would be.
Oh yeah.
But he would do this for all his fighters, I think, if he saw them get a shot with that kind of potential.
And this is a great, I don't know if this was purposely done or not, but how he opens and shuts the door because he forgot his hat. And
Yeah.
Rocky
It's
thought he left.
like poetry.
And Rocky comes out because he thought he left. And he goes right back in.
Yep.
And look
This
at
has got-
Mickey's face is just.
This is one of
you
the
know.
best. This is one of the best pieces of acting I've seen. I just love this scene.
Agreed.
And with that documentary, you see it, man. Like this is his
Oh,
old man
no
he's talking
doubt.
to.
No doubt. You can feel.
You can
The
feel it.
pain.
Yeah.
I remember he said when he was yelling the stinks part because that place they were filming in really did stink. So
Oh,
it gave him that motivation. Mickey's looking back like, what the hell is going on? Fight the big fight.
Maybe not the same words, but you could feel that Sly wanted to say those things to his father.
Oh, it's definitely a metaphor. Absolutely.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know?
Absolutely. Now, I mean, knowing what we know now,
Right,
Yeah.
right.
you know, I never dawned on me. I just thought it was amazing writing, which
Yeah,
still was.
the
but-
documentary was magnificent.
Yeah. And it comes full circle. I've always said this when his son's shooting off at him, I know, Dad, it's just the way it is. Doesn't it bother you? And then
Mhm.
it's the same thing. He's going, kid, you got everything going on for you. He's like, the role's reversed now. Like
Yeah.
now, granted, Robert kind of had everything.
Sure.
He had Rocky had nothing, but
Right.
it's the same thing. Rocky,
But
was
it's the
really-
same thing, right? He didn't have the attention or
Yeah, Rocky was blaming
is the big
Mickey
shadow.
Rocky just started blaming Mickey for everything. Really, well, what you got to do, what you didn't, ask me again and ask me again and ask me again. You know what I mean? Rocky was accountable,
Mhm.
and this is where he realizes he got the anger out
Yeah.
and said, "No, this guy can help me because I'm gonna get beat. I'm gonna be get pummeled. I know this guy can help me."
I love it. He just runs down there, puts his arm around him, puts out
Yep.
his handshake deal, and off we go to drinking salmonella.
yeah,
Yeah.
a glass of salmonella.
You know what I often say this, without struggle with our protagonist, there is no triumph with our protagonist.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
this scene, it's just music, but it is so important. The training montage, the fight falls apart without him
Well, I
struggling,
mean,
going up the steps.
Jason, you're obviously into screenwriting and stuff like that. And I actually took that in college. And, as you know, the man versus nature.
Yeah.
And the one where we're watching right now is man versus himself.
Yep.
And it's so well done.
It is. There's got to be struggle, and that's with every Rocky movie. There is struggle, and you want to put this into your own life. We all have our steps that we have to climb. We all have
Sure.
that hurdle that we have to get over. It could be for some people, it could be getting that college education. For other people,
Yep.
it could be getting over the loss of a loved one. This
Yep.
is why this movie is more than a movie, man. Like
It is.
It's-
No, you're
it's-
absolutely. That's why there's so many fans of it, and that the movie changed. I've always said, and I've told Rick and numerous people that know me, I ever get my chance to meet the man, and I will. I know it in my heart. I'll eventually meet him. I'm just going to tell him. In 1976, I was 10 years old. Rocky came out, and it changed my life. My
Sure.
life. It didn't make me a fan at 10. I'm saying it changed my life for a reason. Each movie that came out was an event in my life that helped me in a variety of ways. Like Jason said, it could be good ways. I want to make the baseball team. It could be negative ways. My parents are getting divorced. It changed my life.
Yeah, it's I hear you. Tiger Man says, "Hey Jason, hey, what's going on?" With me, because I saw this when I was in public school, and I've always been a loner type figure. I've never really had a lot of
Yeah.
friends. There was a little bit of like more verbal bullying, not so much physical,
Right.
but I would channel all that into Rocky because Rocky, I've always said Rocky's the best friend I've ever had. And every time I watch this, I'm hanging out with a friend. I'm not watching a movie.
Right.
Right.
That's the
Yeah.
feeling. And Rambo was First Blood was the film where I was so angry when I wanted to fight people and seeing him kick everyone's ass in the sheriff's department and take everyone out. That was like then it was let go. I could like Stallone means more than me than most like my parents realize it, but or my mom did when she was alive. My dad knows how much this guy means, but people when I say I like Stallone, it's deeper than that. You don't like the dude saved me. Like
Yeah.
No, I
more
couldn't agree
than
with you
that.
more. I couldn't agree with you more.
Unless you are in our group, I really feel those people can't relate.
No, they
can't
can't be
they
Rick. You're
can't
right. Because like I
understand.
said, when I first got the Instagram page, I did it for different reasons. But then when I saw there was other people out there, yourself or Jason or Stacy or Mike, I'm like, all right, I'm not just some Rocky wacko, man. There's a lot of
Yeah.
people that feel the same way and for a variety of reasons. And
Right.
like you said, if you haven't experienced it yourself, you can't understand it. You
Right. And
can't,
people
and it would be just like if anybody else was to say, I don't know, a different film, a different book, a different artist changed my life for this reason, then they have a close affection for it. It's the same
Sure.
thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like there's a yeah, it's like most people, I hear, you like Stallone, he makes the same fucking movie over and over again. They just don't get it, right?
Right.
No, yeah, there's more meat and potatoes to it than just that.
There is.
It's a way
Even
of life. It's a
yeah,
way of
even Expendables when I first saw it in the theater, I was relating to these band of misfits. Like they're like
yeah,
hanging out with army buddies or hanging out with just your best buddies. That's how you
Yeah.
carry on. And
Right.
and obviously in your generation, definitely. But even my generation, the way they talk to each other and made fun of each other and stabbed
Yeah.
at each other. It's
Yeah.
just I go, this is like hanging out with my friends.
Yep.
yeah, yeah. You get together with your old buds, and you're busting balls, and
Oh yeah.
it's just If you're not people watch it like my parents, will watch it and they're like, okay, what's the draw? I'm like, if you don't get it, you don't get it, and that's okay.
Right.
Yeah.
But to us, it's a way of life because
Yeah.
you bring it into your life every day.
Yep.
You want to be the best you can be.
Absolutely.
It not every moment because everybody has bad days, but you see it through Rocky's eyes.
Austin from SPC Unleashed says, "Hey there, backers. What's going on, buddy?" And Brother Fluff says, "Yeah, I watched it quite a bit when I was getting sober." Yeah, man.
Nice. See, and that helped you. I mean, that people can't relate to
And
that, but that
I
changed
love
your life.
I love Paulie here because he knows Rocky's not ready for what he's getting into either. I think he's actually helping him here. He just does it in such a cold manner. Gets him to punch the meat.
And who did that? Was that Frazier?
I don't know who really did that.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I thought it was Frazier who used to train like that.
I love when he says, "You're breaking the ribs."
But also, Rocky's not going to punch his best friend out, so he punches the meat instead.
Oh yeah.
He said, don't talk dirty about your sister, right?
That's right. He looked at him like he wanted to knock his head off, but he wouldn't. He's a loyal friend.
Then then Rocky snaps the scene coming up. Rocky snaps at Adrian.
Oh, and she says she wants to rub him down.
Yeah, he acts like Paulie in a way. He says, "Just make the meat."
That's funny because I met talk about Rocky fans in all different forums and and walks of life. I met a Rocky fan who was a butcher, and you and I, we might say, "Cut me, Mick," or "Yo, Adrian." Or, as a butcher, his line was, "Just make the meat."
That was his favorite line.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
I like this is a very nuanced scene in this movie, but it's where Adrian really shows her comedic side. When he says, "Well, what does he eat?" And she goes, "He eats little turtles."
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, when she gives him butt kiss?
Yeah.
I love it. I know. Well, like you said, you can see how she's dressed differently. Her hair's different. She's just standing there looking with more confidence.
And he knows he hurt her. And she starts smacking the dishes. You can hear her like, she's angry. Like if she just won't show it in front of him.
But the difference between him and Paulie, he
He knows
realizes
he's an
it.
asshole.
He realizes it, and he
He
gets
doesn't
up
have the
and-
pride, and he says sorry.
Right. He goes over. He realizes he was a jerk. Calls her over and apologizes. And
Oh, she was gonna let it go, and he's like, "No, you don't let this go. I'm sorry."
because
Like,
that's what she's used to.
yeah, exactly.
And he's like, "Come
Like
here."
she's a lot more damaged than the movie I think lets on. Like,
Oh yeah,
Sure.
he's telling her, this is not normal. The way you've been treated is not freaking normal.
correct.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, another great line. Get your little chicken asses out of here. Don't you disrupt me when I'm conducting business.
I love it. And you lay off that pet shop, Dave.
Yeah. You fight like a damn ape.
I never had good footwork. Yeah, no shit. See, he's trying to help him, make you a dangerous fighter.
That's awesome.
Woman weakened legs. I love
One of
this.
my most favorite lines.
I love that. Yeah, but I really like her, He's like, well, let her train you.
Oh God, when I made my top 50 moments list, it took three days at my trailer in the summertime. And that's when I asked everyone to, put a video in. I've already had the list made up, but I'm ready to record it soon. But making the list up was just like,
Oh, I'm sure.
I can't believe I had to leave things off. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
oh God.
Really? Wow.
It'll be a heartbreaker.
Yeah, she really spruced up, huh?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, there he is without the fedora again. You're right, Jace.
Yep. Yeah, he only wears it. Granted, sometimes he's running, so why would you wear it when he's running, right?
Right.
He wasn't running before; he's walking everywhere. I love this turtle line here.
Yep.
And there was a discussion about what was in the bag.
He eats little turtles. That's a big dog right there.
I always wondered why they had him running behind the post and everything. Like,
Yeah.
it just looked kind of like
They
guerrilla
probably
filmmaking.
didn't want to do it in the street and cause commotion and get caught.
Yeah, you know what? You're probably right.
Yeah.
You can see the steady cam here. That's like someone, the guy who invented the steady cam was on this movie.
Yeah.
That's how you could see him. They wouldn't be able to do this. They'd have to set up a dolly track and then ride everything on a track, right?
Right.
And they use the steady cam to go around the meat and everything when he's walking. And especially in the fight, that's where it really, it was really helpful. But I reviewed The Exorcist recently, and I watched the making of it. So when they're doing the shots of them going up the staircase, there was no steady cam then. So the guy sat in a chair, and they had him on the rigging, and they pulled the rigging
Oh,
up.
really?
Oh
Like,
wow.
Steadicam changed filmmaking, like,
Yeah.
it just
This was the first time it was used ever.
yeah,
for
that
Rocky.
training montage when he was going up the steps.
Yeah.
Like, just
I
imagine
mean-
how they were gonna film that without that.
Oh God. Well, Exorcist was 73, so it was
Yeah,
3 years before this.
So how do you
Yeah.
get Rocky? How do you put a dolly track up the steps? You
Yeah,
can't.
you couldn't.
Not that I know of anyway. Like, you have to have someone following along with them, and I
Yeah.
think that's why this movie has the feel it does in a lot of ways.
Hey, the meat guy's in the back. This is a great scene with Duke.
Yeah, because Duke sees, man, this is not a show for this guy. This is a freaking fight.
Exactly. I mean, that's almost verbatim what he says in the ring. You know, he doesn't know it's a damn show. He thinks it's a damn fight.
Yeah.
Finish this bum and let's go home. Apollo's
I
like,
like
okay.
the second. I like the second one where he's spitting all over Apollo, and he's like,
Oh,
"No,
he's
this
going-
man is breaking up you inside. No, stick and move, man."
He is he's such a passionate actor. Well, was such
Yeah.
a passionate actor.
Absolutely.
And it's so funny how they pan out. Duke's still watching him. Apollo's doing public relations. Get flowers for the mayor. Get
But
this.
you know what?
Get that.
He says something like, "Get us some more coffee." You know what? After this, maybe I'll run for
Mayor.
I'll run for something or like. And it's like
Yeah.
his head's not even in this fight at all. Like,
No.
but he's that good that
And that's what makes Rocky 2 so good, because in Rocky 2, the man never smiles. All he does is want to destroy Balboa. That's
Yeah.
he just
He
wants to
potentially
destroy
ruined his legacy. Like,
Yeah.
ruined his, like, how could you retire after something like that?
Sure. His hand's all bloody.
In the meat house with Rocky Balboa. Drunk
Yep,
scene.
here
That's
we
it.
go.
This is Adrian's moment. That's what I like.
Yep. Yep. This is where she doesn't take any crap.
Yeah.
She just had it. She's had enough. She built up her confidence. She knows Rocky and her are getting along and dating and everything is good. He treats her right. He knows not to treat her wrong because he tried. Well, not tried, but he did.
We
in that
got
one little scene.
there's a row of houses in the city I live in, not far from me, that look just like this.
No.
Like-
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah. I call it kind of like the slums. Yeah.
Almost every house in Philly looks like that. They're all just like tiny brownstones. You know, keeps asking me for a job all the time.
Paulie has no problem breaking thumbs.
Yeah, exactly.
No, not at all.
Exactly.
RJ Skorinki says, did you know Sly Stallone sold the script for $1 million and his first job was shoveling shit in the zoo? I'm not sure if it went to 1 million, but I can't remember. Do you guys know what he sold it for? It was pretty big though.
Well, he didn't sell it, remember? He wouldn't give. They offered him $265,000
Yeah.
to sell it to them. And he wouldn't sell it unless he could play. They wanted Ryan O'Neal or Burt Reynolds to play Rocky.
Well,
Right.
how come he doesn't own the rights then?
Because when they did it after the movie was out, the producers had all the rights to the film. He didn't
Oh,
have
okay.
he wasn't given any rights. He just got to play the role, and the script was his.
I can't believe they're not giving him a cut. Like to say, you know what? Here, take 10%. Like it's
Something.
a
I mean, he
shame.
created it.
It's a shame. But he had the star in it. Like I'm sure he thinks about that decision, going, you know,
Well, sure. Like he said, if he would have sold that after the money was gone, he would have just regretted it the rest of his life.
But it's too bad he didn't get the rights along the way, some way.
Yeah, like back
Because
then, a
now-
lot of artists they didn't get the rights to their material. Mostly musical artists.
Because
They
now
made
there's
all these
people.
wrote all these songs, and had records produced, but they weren't allowed to really keep their own music. It went to the record company.
Now anybody can take Rocky and do what they want with it, and that's terrifies me actually.
Well, no, Erwin Winkler owns the rights to it,
Yeah,
and Robert Chardoff.
and if they decide to do something with it, they could easily just say, "Well, no, we're doing this without you, Sly." Right?
Yes.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Like what a future person could do with it.
Well, the good part is that hopefully they're up there in age, so hopefully they're not going to last much longer. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
Who knows?
it's just wrong in every way.
Oh yeah, it is.
I mean, the man created this,
Yeah.
you know, and this was his blood, his blood, sweat, and tears. And
Yep.
can you imagine creating something like that and being told you have no control over what happens with
Yep.
it? How that would tear me apart.
Eat lightning, you're gonna crap thunder.
How great of a line is that? I think he's got about as much coot as a car crash.
Yeah.
He's a disaster. Al Silvani was a real cut man. Boxer. And supposedly Jimmy Gambino, who plays Mike, the short guy, he did a lot of the boxing choreography with Sly.
Right.
Even Burt Young gave Stallone some advice with the boxing because he was a boxer.
Yeah, he was a
Sure.
boxer. Yeah. Well, remember what was his record, Rick?
Oh, geez.
Remember, he was like 15-0 after he got out of the
Yeah,
Marines?
15 or 16-0 as a professional, I think it was. He walked away. I have my notes here somewhere.
Yeah.
There's Paulie back, he blew off some steam and he's
Yep. Well, they're almost like brothers, It's like, well, they are brothers. They're just, you get mad, you say some things you kind of don't mean, but they do kind of bother you. And what do you know about advertising?
Yeah.
yeah, the music is the real heart to this whole thing.
Oh my God.
The music's so good. Here you go, Sly, get out, run, Sly, keep running, Sly, get out. Like they followed him with a van through this whole thing.
Yep. He has bricks in his hand.
The big orange, someone throwing an orange. Like, look at the people. They don't know who the hell the guy is.
Yeah. Well,
They
they
see
know.
a guy running in the street.
It's so funny because how different is it between this and Rocky 2, where he's running in the
right.
street in a place everybody's looking at him and everybody knows.
Right.
I tell you, I don't know how he did all those miles in those Converse.
Oh my God, yeah.
They may look good, but they have no support.
Yeah, they're not the most comfortable.
Oh man,
shoes.
I call them Rocky shoes.
Yeah.
Right.
My wife hates the Rocky
Yeah.
running shoe. Those classic. Oh, she looks at those. She goes, "They're an ugly shoe." I go, "The Rocky shoe, you mean?"
Yeah. Nah, I love them.
My youngest daughter
yeah.
wears them all the time.
They're great for doing squats because they're flat sole.
They're
That's
flat
about
sole.
it.
Yep. Yeah, this part here, the theater was just going ballistic with all this going on. You got the Rocky trumpets gonna fly now, and the montage that there was no montage. It didn't exist.
What they're doing is they're sucking you in. They're thinking he can win, right?
Sure.
Like if you're watching this the first time, you go, shit, he's gonna win.
Yeah.
he's gonna freaking win, and then Rocky does that walk alone, and then it's like bang, he hits you with kicks you in the balls and says, you know what? No, I can't win. Like he goes, come on, Adrian, I'm not even in the guy's league here.
It's
Like,
and
and
that
then
scene is so great. And the part about that scene that's really awesome is that they almost cut that out. And Sly said
Yeah.
it's the heart
the
of the
movie,
movie. He's like, we cannot cut this scene. He goes, give me one take and I'll make it work.
Right. Absolutely.
Did you imagine going to the fight without that scene? It would
Oh,
it
no.
would be like
No, you
it,
couldn't.
it would have played out completely differently. It would have felt different. It would have been like, well, how come he's not winning? That's what it would have been.
Yep.
Like,
Well,
well,
yeah,
how come
because
he didn't
before
win?
that, when he goes out to the ring and talks, then Jurgens comes in. What are you doing here? You know, Mr. Jurgens, the post is wrong. That would have led right into the fight. It wouldn't have worked.
Yep.
Wouldn't have worked. It's so funny on how, because you couldn't use, like that says tempo. It doesn't say Time magazine across the top because they didn't have the money to use
Oh,
Time
yeah.
magazine.
Yep.
This is
Look
from
at it.
here to the end of the speech, but from here to the end of the movie, it just
yeah, so good. I like how she's got everything decorated for Christmas. The
Christmas
shelf
now.
and
It's all clean. That bed looks like a prison cot. It's like so small.
it's probably the best night's sleep she's ever had.
I know,
Waking
right?
her up. It's great. It's so silent. I like how he's just sitting there looking.
Yep.
Head
He's just
cocked a
looking
bit.
at Creed. And obviously, you know why he didn't wear the red shorts.
Right. The wash.
Yeah.
I
And
like it. But at the looking back at this movie though, the white I think looks so much better.
Sure.
Right.
But probably because it's so iconic now though.
Well, didn't
They
he say
couldn't
that it
change the
showed
poster
it
either.
showed the blood better too?
Oh yeah. I know it's dead silent too. And it was like that in the movies. Dead silence. No one talking. Right there, he's looking like, what did I get myself into? This is really happening. Jurgens gives him the answer. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
It just goes to show you know that no one cares about you.
Yep.
Now if they've got Apollo's stuff wrong, there have been hell to pay.
Oh, yeah.
I love the way that we'll get into it when the fight starts, but the way they cut that fight together.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's a bit short, but
It is.
at the time, maybe it wasn't.
I mean, because they skip by all the odd, like you see the ring girls for 3, 5, 7. You know,
and personally, this fight's more iconic and more emotion, and it's very hard. But the Rocky 2 fight is my favorite fight.
Oh, Rocky 2 fight
in the franchise.
Yeah.
But this one's more realistic. This one's
one of my favorite lines in the whole franchise is when I ain't going down no more. And Mickey's attaboy.
Yeah. Yeah, you get really excited whenever the bell ring. He always has that moment in the fight where you think he's losing a bit, and then he turns it on, and it's like the music kicks in.
Yeah.
Stallone really knows what his audience wants.
Sure.
That's his gift. That's a real gift he has.
Oh, yeah.
He knows when he did Expendables, he knows what the audience wanted in an action movie.
This is just fantastic. Adrian's like, what are you doing up? You got to fight. Can't beat him. Well, everything's setting in. All the reality of what's going on is setting in right now.
Right.
Yeah, they didn't. The movie didn't really show like the press around him. There was probably a lot more press around him. There was probably a lot more people coming up to him going, "Hey, Rock!" Like he was getting this almost growing
Right.
popularity that he just
Right.
doesn't want. And maybe people thinking he can't tell him you're gonna win, and maybe he bought into that a little. That's stuff they couldn't really show, but we have to presume.
Right.
Right.
And he and this is where he realizes, I'm a realist here. I can't beat him. I'm not even in that league, man. Not even close.
Yep. And Adrian's just listening. And bust my head open.
If I could be standing, it's a metaphor for life, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Sure.
If I could be standing at the end of it, I'm okay with that. That's
Yep.
what I want. Get respect.
Yep.
Let everyone know that I'm not this bum that you see walking around all the time. Like,
But isn't that most people though? We just want to be standing at the end. You
Yep.
know?
that's it. That's it. That's what it's all about.
For the first time in my life, not just another bum.
It's stories about the human condition, right? That's what it's like. Stallone has always said, it's people with an unrealized dreams, but for
Sure.
whatever reason got passed by. Just had the talent at one time, but
Right.
for whatever reason they squandered it, or they never
Right.
got the shot they needed or got.
Well, there's millions of us like that, Life happens.
Sure.
Leading up to the fight, though. It's like all this little stuff here it gets your anticipation going, They got putting Vaseline on the eyes, they got the wraps in the hands. I mean, it's the first time you saw Apollo and he's not talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That robe is huge.
Yeah, right. Every time I watch this, I'm like, his robe is so damn baggy.
His robe is huge. And then you guys know why the sweaters are like pink, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
Yep.
I've heard the story.
Yep.
Or I just read about it actually. I forget.
I mean, way back when, before the internet, before you could find out so much information, it's like I was like, why do pink sweaters? Like, what? That doesn't even make sense. Shorts are white and red. His robe is yellow and red. Like, what's going on? Don't leave town. It makes me laugh at how she stays in the back till the end.
Yeah, she doesn't want to watch that. That's
no.
My wife has said, I wouldn't watch. No freaking way. I just watch my husband get.
Understandable. Ricky B, where'd you go? He vanished.
Geez, the movie flies by when you're talking about it.
I know, right? It seemed like we just started it. Now it's the fight already. He's bringing a hooker to the game, to the boxing match. I mean, oh my God.
But he's like, look how much she cost me.
Yeah. $200 on $250.
Sorry, guys, my screen froze. I had to go fix it.
Oh,
that's all right. Speaking of dear old dad, he rings the bell in this, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
My wife could not believe when we were watching that documentary that when they were playing that game with the horses when he was 40, that he backstabbed them at 40.
Oh my God!
Like he was already like Stallone was like huge by then.
Oh yeah.
You still have this grudge? Wow. I was like, we were like, man. And we were like thinking, it's so glad that he has such a great relationship with his daughters.
Right.
and everything. Like,
Well, it's usually what happens. The people that have good relationships with their parents or usually have good relationships with their kids, but especially if you have a bad relationship with your parent, a good parent will give, their children not what they grew up with.
yeah,
Right.
This is awesome though. He comes in with the George Washington crossing the
Yeah.
river and he's got the wig on. I mean, he's a showman.
he's a showman.
He's putting on a
It
show.
never, and that part of him never changes. Really, it's
No.
It took me a
That's what
while
he
to
did.
figure out he was throwing silver dollars.
Yeah. Beating people in the head.
Yeah. Oh, my eye.
And now look at him. He's got the Uncle Sam suit.
And Duke's like, come on, man, get your head on straight.
He's just perfect. Let him talk while he can talk. Mickey just kills me. But look how funny it is. Look, he's in the ring right now, Dan. Look at his hands. He doesn't have gloves on.
Yeah.
How do you not have gloves on? You're in the ring.
Right.
You're
Right.
ready to fight.
that's like Rocky 4. Did you see the?
Yeah.
He's walking up.
Oh,
He doesn't have gloves. Then he has gloves. It's
And
weird.
then he has gloves.
See, now he does. He's got gloves
Yep.
on. I like how they cued the music there too, with the microphone coming down. I've always liked that.
Yep. Creed in 3.
Creed in 3. Yep. You could tell those are
Those are the
Stock-
stock footage.
footage. There's a
know
million
what?
people.
It works though.
Oh, it did.
It works. That's the only regret I think Stallone said. He says he wished there would have been people there,
Right.
or at least more people.
Well, he got
We would
that.
have went.
He got that from 2 on. So
Yeah.
Rocky 2, the place was packed.
Yeah, this is very gritty film. That's what I love about it.
Yeah. Well, like he said, he wanted it to be like he took a little bit of Mean Streets, he took the 70s, he took, all of that and kind of mixed it up. And
Sure.
I've been saying the more 70s movies I watch, because a lot of them I haven't seen. I'll be honest, like my 70s repertoire it's gotten bigger lately, but everything in the 70s feels like it's a real life unfolding.
right,
No matter what I'm watching, even the movie Alien to a certain extent,
right,
it feels like you could almost buy in that these people were real and this happened.
right.
I don't know what it is. As soon as we got into the 70s, things I guess got more.
70s has some skill. I mean, did you
It's
see
grit.
Invasion of the
It's
Body
grit.
Snatchers? They got
Yeah.
like you said, Rosemary's Baby,
It's this grit. It's got this grit to it.
French Connection.
Even some early 80s, like First Blood is one of the grittiest films I've
Yep.
seen.
Oh, yeah.
It's just so gritty. And the original Terminator is very gritty. It's just things are so polished and sheen and
Yeah,
now that I just love going back to these movies. They're so well shot. You don't need a lot of camera movement because you're working with a character driven story.
yeah, agreed. Master of Disaster. There he
Yeah,
is.
Rocky's nervous, all right. He's nervous.
Yeah, wouldn't you be?
Hmm.
This is the same record my mom had. It has a 49-cent tag on it.
Oh, get out.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the same one
49
she used
cents?
to listen to. 49 cents, the tag. Right
Yeah, I
there.
got it. I don't know if you can see. I got mine behind. Is it? I think it's behind me.
So I found all the rest of them on vinyl. So I bought Rocky 2, 3, 4. I got 1, 2, 3, and 4 all on vinyl.
Yep.
Just love it.
Well, here we go.
Yeah.
But I like they get a good use of wide shots, but you could see the way this is shot. I don't know how boxing movies were shot before this, but apparently this was unique for its time. Like
That's what they said. I mean, a lot of the boxing movies that were in the 50s, they had more so from showing the fighter here, and the camera
Yeah.
was almost like the opponent. so you just saw, you know,
Right.
this kind of stuff.
But it's circling. He got the circling effect. You can
Yep.
see. It's really good.
Yeah, he's Apollo. Look how fast Apollo is. He's all mumbling to Rock. He's like, "Come on, man." I love when he's like, "Give the people something."
Even the handshake, even during the handshake, he's
Yep.
screwing around with him, you know. Rocky's like, "Oh, come on."
Yep,
Right
you
there.
go.
That's awesome.
And you want to talk about a theater exploding?
I
That's
wish
what
I
it
could have
looked
been
like.
there, man. I wish.
That's what it
Hell,
looked
you know
like.
what? Bring it back into the cinema again. I'll go and just cheer because
Yeah, I mean,
I would love to see this on the big screen.
oh man, I know. There's a theater by my house that shows older movies for $5, like
Oh,
Back
No,
to
I
the
think
Future,
whoever
Ghostbusters.
whoever owns this, whoever if they're thinking right for their 50th anniversary, they should be doing a whole Rocky year.
Oh, I
Yeah.
hope
Like
so.
like it's not going to come around again. It's 50 years, right?
I hope
Right.
so.
They got to bring this all back into the theater again. You know how much money they'd make?
Oh,
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I don't know why they don't do it.
Well, it's like all the the edited scenes and the stuff that hit the floor. Can you
Yeah.
imagine if you put that on a DVD?
Yep.
All that stuff, those would fly off the shelves.
Yeah, but see this how there's a pacing to it. It doesn't stop. It's got a great pace to it. Cutting back to a wide, getting in there again, cutting
Yep.
back to a wide. It's really nice.
This is where Rocky looks like he just got headbutted from Spider Rico.
Hey, look,
Yeah.
look.
Apollo's kind of like giving him crap.
He used his guard though. He used his guard. Bang! Right on the kisser.
Oh.
Ooh, look at that.
Look at his face. He's like, "Holy Christ, this guy's for real."
Yeah. No, he realized that this guy's so good. Like
Yeah.
it's like somebody Muhammad Ali fought. I think it was his 8th match. This guy was an old man when I saw this interview, and he says, "Well, how good was he?" And he says, "I didn't even see the guy's hands move.
Yeah.
He was hitting me, and I didn't even see his hands move. I was surviving." He said,
Yeah. Well, that's the way it is when you come across a real fighter,
Yeah.
a real boxer.
"But he's got to get in there. He's got to get in close, but that is also dangerous."
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Look at his face. He's like, he's trying. He's like, what do I, how do I get in there? He's just tagging me with jabs that are
I have
so
a hard head.
fast.
Like from the corner of the ring.
Ooh,
You just
Balboa's
feel those
taking a
punches,
tremendous
though.
beating.
Yeah, you're just feeling the punches though.
Oh, I know. I remember my dad sitting next to me yelling at the screen, "Put your hands up. Put your damn hands up."
That's awesome.
I love how Rocky wants more though. He's just like,
Yep.
there you go.
There we go. Bam.
Ooh. Right to the body, gets him in the
Yep.
corner to the body. Good.
Yeah, he's not a finesse boxer, so he needs to do body shots. Look at him.
This is great. This is great. Oh, here we go, boys.
Yep.
Start now. Come on, Creed.
Get that
Come
jump
on,
back
Creed.
in his corner.
Yeah, he's like,
That's great. Get that chump back in his corner. Look, you got 3, 5, 7.
now the way they cut this, right?
Oh, it's amazing.
Just love it. Yeah, I'm feeling it all, and especially the shots over the shoulder.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, how messed up he is. Good old Michael Westmore. He did all this makeup for Star Trek
makeup.
all those years.
I mean, he's holding his own. He's not,
Yeah,
getting
Stallone
as
really
destroyed.
he really choreographed this fight so well.
Oh, he did. I mean, he had it written in a notebook. It was like a dance.
Yeah.
2 lefts, then a right, then you do a left, then a right, and then you wrap it up, and then you bounce. But look at Apollo's like, what the hell did I get? What is going on? Here it is, round 14.
This is one of the greatest scenes in movie history.
Absolutely.
Maybe the greatest scene in movie history.
It has so much poetic It's just so well written, well
And the
acted,
music,
well
right?
performed. Oh, the music. Bill Conti is 50% of this movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
I say that about all movies. I say your music is the heart. If your music's not clicking, your movie could really
This is great.
fail.
And see, I was so young. I'm yelling, "Get up, get up, get up." And I remember when we got in the car, I remember saying to my dad, I'm like, "Why was Mickey telling him to stay down?" And he goes, "Because he didn't want him to get hurt anymore."
Yeah.
And now Adrian, of course, walks out in the 14th round. That's probably not a good idea.
Yeah, that's what he's getting up for. He wants
right
he
there.
Wants,
I
he
mean,
wants
look at
her to be
Apollo.
proud.
Look at this acting from Carl Weathers. He's like, "You got to be kidding me. Are you kidding me right now?" Look at him. He's like, "Come on." Apollo's like, I gave you everything I had, man. You got up.
Yep.
This
Never ran into a fight.
Look at
Human
him.
condition, man. And he breaks his freaking ribs here.
Yep. Just like the hanging beef.
Oh yeah.
And the announcers,
so
Stu
good.
Nahan and Bill Baldwin, those guys are awesome. They just make it like it's a real fight.
Well, like they said in the documentary, it blurred the lines.
It did.
The people were, you guys were chanting, cheering in the theaters.
And here, the blood goes everywhere. Oh God! Like,
cut me, Mick. Yeah, they had a little tube in the hand, and a little tube that went behind the razor blade.
Yeah,
it was like a little squeeze bottle.
The makeup is so good. I bought the Amazon prosthetic.
Oh, you did?
For Rocky.
That's
so when I
awesome.
first did, I wore it on my watch party on the first time I did this
That's
movie.
Great.
And I tried to do the makeup the best I could. My eye was all this blood everywhere, and I'm doing the watch. I've done this. This is my third time doing this.
This is
on
awesome.
YouTube now.
Look at them. They're just like, yeah, they look like they've been in a war. Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny on how Apollo's not even throwing a punch until now, obviously. But
I like how Rocky just goes for the body here and this freaking.
Oh yeah.
He almost won. Like it was.
Oh, seconds.
There's 10 seconds left.
When he held back like this, if he wouldn't have held back so long, and he just went in.
Yep.
Look, body. Jesus.
He's got him right against the ropes, man. Like soon, anyway.
Ducking out of the way for that measly punch wouldn't have done anything anyway. Right here is where he took too long.
Yeah.
And that's it, the bell.
If he wasn't damn tired, he could have thrown a 1-2, and it would have been all over. But
I love how Apollo says there ain't gonna be no rematch.
Yeah.
He's like, look, man. I gave you everything I had.
We know better than that.
This is beautiful right here.
They pull her hat. They pull her hat off with a fishing line.
Yeah, the fishing line. I always thought it was hysterical. The first thing he says to her is, "Where's your hat?"
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
you're a bloody mess. Where's your hat?
Right.
It's the first time that they say they love each other. The whole movie.
Yep. Yes, it is. And
very,
I love how it's Adrian that says it first.
Yeah, and when she hugs him, I always say she's attacking him. Like it's like an attack hug. Like it's love it.
And I
just like how they circle around each other, and the music at the end of this movie.
Yep.
It's a bit slower with the violins really out front. I love it. It's so good. That's what he won. He won Adrian.
That's what he won. He won.
Beautiful.
Oh, it's just
so good.
Amazing.
It never gets old, and it will.
No.
It will forever be like this music here. Where?
Yeah.
I love it.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
I
I don't
gotta
even
rewind
know.
it.
I lost count decades ago how many times I've seen this film.
I know, right?
Oh yeah, I've seen it so many times.
Love it. I can watch it every night. Well, I almost do watch it every night.
I love it, man. It's so good. My favorite movie of all time.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. It's
Yeah, if I had to pick one out of all of them, even though Balboa is such a close second, as I say, 1A, that's
Mhm.
Rocky's my number one. I mean, it's just such
Yeah.
it's a perfect movie, in my opinion.
It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
Right.
Balboa, and
I know.
it's
I know.
so it's
Amazing.
I'm probably Balboa than Rocky, but
It's just so crazy that after 47 years, you can still get into a film.
yeah,
You know, you still sit there. I mean, I'll put it on. I'll be on the couch. I'll be like, come on, making movements with my body.
yeah,
I'm like, hit him, Rock, hit him. You know,
Yeah.
like
yeah.
crazy.
I love them. I love them all, man. I get enjoyment out of all the Rocky
yeah.
movies.
Yeah.
Like they all have their own little thing to them that I like.
Yep.
But to my audience, though, that is Rocky. And next week will be, I think it's next week, will be Rocky 2 with actually your guys, Tony, your former co-host.
Nice.
Tim will be joining me for Rocky 2, so that'll be a lot of
Canadian
fun.
kid.
Yeah, me,
Yeah,
two Canadian kids.
There
Yeah,
you go.
Yeah, Rocky 2 will be next week, guys. And yeah, this was a lot of fun, guys.
It was. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Tony, you guys can plug your channel, tell everyone where they can find you. I got your YouTube link in the description. So
Yeah, cool.
what
Yeah.
do you guys do on Round 14 podcast, and what do you have coming up?
Well, round 14 was named for the scene, you know, that everybody has a round 14 and decided to get up and not stay down. But we do talk mostly Rocky and mostly Stallone. We've noticed sometimes when we deviate from doing that we kind of have people that lose a little interest. But we do have we got some good stuff coming up, right? What's the next episode we got coming up, Rick?
Well, we're going to be talking about the Sly documentary.
Yep.
And then we're going to, after that, I believe we're going to be talking about famous movie cars.
Yep.
And Sly's. I started a collection of Sly's movie cars, and I think then after that we might be talking about famous movie animals, right? Dogs.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So, and then we, you know, like you said, next week we're gonna have this week I should say, this coming Wednesday we're gonna be talking about the documentary. But yeah, it's Round 14 podcast on YouTube, and on Instagram it's the @Round 14 podcast as well. Merchandise though you can get, like you can see behind my head there, a nice little street sign, Round 14 or Balboa
Nice.
Boulevard. Those are from Rick. Rick, you can give him your Instagram number there, your Instagram handle. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's Rocco Bob 33. In Instagram, Rocco Bob 33.
Yeah, he makes all that Mickey clock behind him. He made, and he does amazing work.
The gym. There was.
How did you make that? What's it made out of?
It's mostly out of my 3D printer, but then there's a lot of wood and other materials that I used. It took me about 4 months with inspiration from Backhouse. Josh, is it Josh Backhouse?
Nice.
Who made the first one, and the price tag was hefty, well worth it, hands down, after making my own. But I just couldn't. I didn't have that type of capital, so I'm like, I'll just make my own, And
just like that.
It took me about 4 months, but
it
was an endeavor, an endeavor, an adventure too. So yeah,
good stuff. But yeah, check us out. Hopefully you like what you see. But we appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah, we're there to entertain and enlighten and enjoy.
Yeah. That's what it's all about. This sharing passion, right?
Exactly.
Passion. That's what it's all about. That's why. I've been a movie fan my whole life. And Rocky 2 is actually one of the reasons. When I first saw that Rocky 2 scroll,
Yeah.
I was been hooked on movies. It feels like ever since First Blood, the early rock, like a lot of the Rocky movies. It just, man, I just loved movies ever since. So that's kind of what the channel's based off of, is just movies I grew up with.
Right.
That's awesome.
So
Well, the good thing about the movies you grew up with and or are watching or are highlighting is that they are going to be around forever. They're not something like there's movies that'll come and go and nobody will ever remember them.
Sure.
Yeah.
But the movies that you're talking about, that's not in their list. It's they'll be around for a long time.
And you're a horror, kind of like a horror.
I do. I'm not. The old channel was more horror. This one's more balance.
Okay.
It's because October I was doing horror all month.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Now I'm doing Rocky all month.
Okay.
And
Good.
Rocky and well, we'll see. Yeah. But yeah, I do horror. I'm a big horror and action were my genres.
Do you like the horror, the movies themselves, pretty much?
Oh yeah. I'm a
You're
big
big-
Friday the 13th fan, big Nightmare fan. Like
Okay.
Halloween. I like old horror. I like all kinds of things. I like all kinds of movies though. Like
Nice.
really but I like classics like Rocky and First Blood, like Predator, Aliens, Terminator, Psycho. The original
Sure.
Psycho is one of my favorites. The original the Thing from 1982 I really like.
Yeah. Kurt Russell. Yep.
I like historic movies like Master and Commander and Gladiator, and I like all sorts of things.
Okay.
And I review all sorts of movies. It's just like I did a advertisement, a promotion. I probably you guys saw it about my next year.
Yeah.
I did it on Instagram where so like January I'll be just doing 70s action. And I haven't
Nice.
seen a
Oh,
lot. I've never seen The French Connection. I've never
Yep.
seen this. So I'm excited to get into these and watch them for the first. That's the best. Watching an old movie for the first time and going,
Yeah.
where has this movie been my whole life? Kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Great
But
point.
yeah.
Good stuff, man.
So
Good
I like getting into the older deal, but nothing wrong with modern stuff too. I like a lot of modern stuff too. Like I think
Okay.
there's good
Right.
movies in every generation,
Right.
but there's this something about I just grew up in the 80s, and the 80s was just a great time it was just a unique time for film.
Yeah, it was.
Sure.
Yeah, it
and-
was.
I mean, that's really when Rocky got into pop culture, was the 80s, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it went main,
Rock-
big
Yeah.
main-
Yeah.
It went
82 was Rocky 3 and 85 was Rocky 4. And that's when it just
Blew
those
up.
two movies dominated,
Mhm.
So
Yep.
good stuff, man. Well, we appreciate it.
Good
Like
stuff.
I said, hopefully you enjoy the podcast. Hope you enjoyed the show tonight. Hope we didn't mess up Jason too bad.
No, no, it's good. It's good. I usually do this with a monitor, so you don't hear the movie, and I'm watching the movie and the chat and everything at the same time. But I got rid of a lot of my subscriptions because I wasn't really watching them. So I didn't have Rocky on. You got, I think it's MGM, or I don't know what subscription you need.
Right.
So I said, you know what? I have these on VHS. I'm just gonna go old school.
Yeah, there you go.
Nothing wrong with that.
No,
Right?
not at
I
all.
love it. I got my
Nothing
little.
wrong.
I got a little 19-inch TV here. It's
That's
right in front of
perfect.
me. So
yeah,
it's
that's awesome.
Awesome.
Perfect.
And yeah, go check out the Round 14 podcast, everyone. And they do a good job over there. And along with
Appreciate
the
it.
Rocky Files and all those people. And I tried doing the Rocky podcast every week myself, but it was there's just I do too much on my channel. So it was called Yo, to me it's Thursday. So it had a good name. It had a good
That's
name
an
and everything.
awesome name.
Oh, that is a good
But,
name.
But I'm always talking some kind of Stallone. So I just say, you know what, when I get the urge to talk about, I had I had an idea of, I think I'm going to do this soon, actually, maybe this month, is going through my favorite Stallone villains in his movies.
Oh, okay.
So,
nice.
like Bull Harley, you ain't shit, little man.
Yeah.
I thought that would be a fun video to do. So,
Yeah, that would be.
That
So,
would be.
I'm always trying to do okay, I love Stallone. We got to do another Stallone video. But I recorded Rocky Balboa review, so that will hopefully be out next week or maybe the end of this week. So
Okay.
Sounds
I'm
good.
going through. I've already done Rocky 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I recorded Rocky Balboa. I'm going to do the Creed ones and then rank the whole series. Do a giant
There you
ranking.
go.
So be a lot of
But
fun.
we'll pass along once they come out on Instagram. We'll pass along the advertising.
Yeah. Yeah, for
Absolutely.
sure. Yeah, I'm doing a lot. I'll be doing a lot of promotion on Instagram now. Like I'll be showing clippets of the reviews and saying,
Okay.
check it out on the YouTube channel kind of thing. I Instagram's working for me. Facebook, not so much. I
Yeah.
don't seem to have a following on Facebook, but
Right.
Instagram is worked for me.
Yeah, I don't go on Facebook much anymore. So
Yeah, it's Instagram. I find it easy. I like it. You can put like a heavy long clips on there. It doesn't
Yeah.
seem to get
Yeah, you can select
copyright or nothing.
which one. Yeah. I like it too.
But yeah, that will do it for me, guys. So check these guys out. I will see you on the next show this Thursday. I got a new show called Unwind and Rewind, where I'll be talking to people about their favorite 80s movies. So check that out. It'll be a late show, unfortunately, but you can watch the rerun. So Unwind and Rewind starts Thursday night, and I'll be talking to people about their favorite 80s movies. Just a basic chill out discussion about this week will probably be Karate Kid and Back to the Future. My
Nice.
guest likes those two movies, so just a good 80s talk. So yeah, I'll be
Nice.
back Thursday night, everyone.
great.
And so my name is Jason. This is Backtrack Cinema, and I will see you in the movies, guys. Cheers.
Take care. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.